Okay, I decided to try a round top. So what I did is I stacked the gray, the scrap clay, and the black, put a piece of plastic over it, and then cut it so that the sides would be a little bit rounder. I'm going to press a little bit with my fingers too. And let me put it on a piece of patty paper. And I'm going to use that the same texture sheet, the Cloodle. And I'm going to even use that to help push the edges down a little bit while I'm getting some texture in there. Let me go ahead and roll this. Before I start pushing the edges down. Just to kind of give you an idea. Hold on a minute, my doggy just stole something. I'm sorry. My new little dog, well, he's not little, he's a huge dog, but he's so cute, but he's still learning, and he just came into my room and picked up something and walked off with it. But I thought since you didn't get to see the square top being made, I would maybe do this one. That's kind of pretty. And I'm going to, again, stop the video. Hopefully this time I will remember to turn it back on while I cut some more clay. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I used let me measure this. A 3 1/4 inch circle is what I used, which was the length that I measured from corner to corner. I'm going to also cut 2 squares. This may be enough. Let me see how big this is. Just a little bit less than 2 and just a little bit less than 2. Okay. So this will be I'll just mark it with this. A little bit less than 2. And a little bit less than 2. Oops, there he is with his new toy. This is rolled out at the #1 setting on the pasta machine. So let me come again, a little bit less than 2. Mark it there. And hopefully I have enough for 2 squares. I just think the 2 squares gives it a little bit more body. And the good thing about this is they don't have to be perfect squares, because my box is a little bit off as far as square is concerned. But I'm going to put the two bad sides, and you know what that means, where the seams are, but at least this way it'll all be black. There won't be gray in the middle. And let me just trim them up a little bit just to make sure that they are even with each other. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn my TV off while I came in here. I was looking at my memory card a little while ago. But what I did, let me get my perfect pearls back out. And I'm going to get a paper towel and a wet wipe, or a baby wipe. So that I'll be ready this time. So I'm going to put the red on first. I found that the red kind of overpowered the yellow, the gold, but yet the gold didn't overpower the red. So just put it wherever you want it. I can put, like I'm doing, kind of circles right now, but I'll go back. That was just to kind of give me an idea where to go. And I'll come out this way. And I'll go down that way. And maybe down through here. And then I will use the perfect gold. And just fill in some spaces, maybe around the edge a little bit. And so you can put the gold kind of in there and it'll kind of blend in with the red a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. And then I told you I used some scrap clay to make a ball. That's way too big. My little dog has either gotten himself into trouble or he's exhausted from his playtime. Let me roll this out a little bit because you don't need the cover for your bead to be very big. And I just picked a swirl. And I got a circle cutter. To cut it out. It's just one of my Sculpey cutters. And then I took gold, although I think this time I'm going to use the red. Now I'll have two tops. And sometimes when you have two, you can, if you give it as a gift, it's really unique. How many times do you get a gift where you have your choice of different tops? Probably not very often. And you can see it's all over my hands, all over my table. Anyway, I just laid it over top. And it's difficult to cover with a round bead, but what I did is I just kind of pressed from four sides. And then pressed it as close as I could, the points in. Looked at it from the top, which now that I think about it, I think I did do the mica after I formed it. Get it the shape you want it. And then I cut the bottom off, because you don't really need one that big. So I cut the bottom off, which would give it a nice, look at that inside, isn't that cool? Give it a nice flat barrier. And since I have to bake this again, well no, because I want to turn this upside down. Let me get another clean piece of patty paper. But anyway, I wanted to put some sparkles on here. You know me and my bling. I love bling. So I'm going to stick with the red. Actually, I think I'll go with smaller crystals this time. And the gold. On this top, I used the bigger, a little bit bigger sparkles. So I think on this one, I'm going to add smaller ones. And right here, there's little, it looks like little circles. Like it's just calling for a stone to go in there. And just press it in. And they're hot fix. I've got some tweezers somewhere, but I didn't find them that I could pick these up with. And I think I'll put a yellow one there. In that little circle. Let me come in a little bit. See what I mean about these little circles here that are just kind of calling for a stone? And, whoops. That's not where I wanted it, but that might be a good, no, I'm going to move it over a little bit. Actually, I'm going to move it over this way. Sorry, I'm a little slow in my thinking here. I hadn't planned on doing this part, but I feel like you deserve at least to see how I did the top. I'm having trouble getting these. I'm just wiping my finger on my wet wipe or my baby wipe and trying to. And they don't have to be in, you know, any particular place. They don't have to be symmetrical unless you want them symmetrical. I don't want to make a square. Maybe I'll move this out a little bit. I'm just putting them anywhere. You know, no rhyme, no reason. Whoops. Actually, that one might be a little bit too close to the handle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need one red one. Right there. That will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clean piece of patty paper, and actually I was going to turn it upside down. I think I'm going to leave it on here and go ahead and use some liquid clay. This is my liquid Sculpey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I keep pumping around. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this today until I realized that my video was totally messed up. Forgot to do my handle, my little ball. Oh, I didn't tap very well and it got really heavy, so I'm not seeing a lot of the black. So I'm just going to make sure it gets all over everything, except the bottom. You don't want it on the bottom, because it might interfere with your glue, with it sticking. But I'm going to use some, oh, you know, now I remember why I turned it upside down. I'll at least put it on a piece of clean patty paper. I'm going to try it this way this time. I'm going to place this on here. Just make sure the corners are far enough in, because I'd like it to have a little bit of a dome to it. And I'm just going to put a small dab of liquid clay here in the middle. And I do believe this is the same that I used yesterday that needed stirring. Let me get some of my Kato. My Kato doesn't do that. Just a little dab. And I'm going to put this on there. And I'm going to bake that. And then we'll see how it looks. I'll be right back.